I'm refusing to talk to my father and spoiled sister who wants to walk down the aisle with me in white. Growing up, my sister, 29F, and I never seemed to get along. It was always a competition with her, and she found a way to have it her way all the time because I was a pushover and my parents were always busy, so they just assumed I didn't mind. Once a boy she liked asked me out, and because I knew she liked him, I turned him down and even offered to introduce him to my sister. I understood that she would be a little upset, but instead she goes around our school and family friends talking about how I threw myself on the guy she likes and what a whore I was. When I graduated high school, I got into a pretty good college on a half scholarship. I posted about it on my Instagram and even got treated to a fancy dinner by my cousins. All this while she was still living with us and attended a community college after my parents' persistence. When she found out about the posts and dinner, she went crying to my dad, who has always favored her, and took her side and threatened to not pay for my college for flexing and being ungrateful. There would also be times where he'd buy her whatever she wanted for her birthday, like a new phone or diamond jewelry, but if my mom or relatives bought me anything for my birthday, he'd make a face and mumble to himself about how much money I waste. For my 16th birthday, my mom bought me a diamond necklace with my name on it. My sister acted like she dropped it when I was away and damaged it by messing up the lock. We tried returning it and getting it fixed after, but they quoted my mom a very high amount to get it repaired. My dad somehow forced my mom to just exchange the necklace into money for family reasons, which was really just to throw my sister a bigger 17th birthday party while he didn't even throw any party for my 16th birthday. His reason? You need to focus on your exams. Many years later, I moved out, took out a student loan, and got a job. My 28F fiancé, 29M, are getting married in May, and I love him a lot. I recently arranged a girls' trip to Vegas for my bachelorette party with all my girls. When I told my parents about this plan, my dad insisted I let my sister come with me too because a marriage in the family is a family event. My sister already booked tickets without even asking me if she could join us, which I found extremely annoying because I felt like I had my hand forced into allowing her to come. After talking to my fiancé about it, I decided I would let her come on our trip, also because she's been spamming my phone, practically begging me. On that trip, we were also going to go pick up my wedding dress and dresses for the bridesmaids. During the shopping, she was acting very rude and constantly commenting on the body shapes of other bridesmaids and making comments about how certain types of dresses would not look nice on them. She also picked the most cleavage-showing dresses that I was not very comfortable with on my wedding. A few days after shopping, I find out from the store manager that we had 2 white dresses to be tailored. I was confused and asked her what she meant, and she told me that one dress was the one I picked and the other was a short-lace mini white dress. I called up my maid of honor, my best friend, and she tells me that she saw my sister check out white dresses at the store. I called her up and asked if it was hers, and my dad joined the call and said it was only fair if she also walked down the aisles in white because she was getting older and is still single and may not have the experience of doing it in her 20s, and as a good sister, it is only fair for me to want to do it with her as it shows our close sisterly bond. I told my bridesmaids and fiancé about this, and they were all shocked at my father's behavior. My mom has been pretty quiet about this whole situation, but was also upset with my dad. I informed some of my cousins, and they all tried to talk to my dad about how that's a bad idea, and he said that he won't let us do it at our decided venue. We're doing it at our family vacation home in another state to keep costs low, if we don't let her. I never had big parties or celebrations. It was always my spoiled sister who had the big parties and gifts. I picked my family vacation house because it was my late grandmother's house that my dad now owns. My family and friends are offering to help us cover the costs of finding a bigger, nicer venue, but my mom is asking me to work it out with my father and sister, who are refusing to talk to me because I'm being an egoistic bride. When I heard that, I got really mad and yelled at him for all his shortcomings as a father in my life and blocked both of them. His side of the family has been calling me nonstop to calm down and talk to them as well. Am I overreacting? Should I just talk it out and convince her to pick another dress? Update: I sent the link to this post in my family group chat with all my distant relatives too. They all saw it and read it. I got a lot of support from my mom's side, and my dad's side just stopped calling me and are quiet. I think the whole family is just really upset with my sister and father right now. My mom has also moved in with her sister after my aunt scolded her for not standing up for me. I've called my dad and sister with my fiancé and explained that they are not invited to my wedding and that they will never get to be part of my new married life, know my future children, or see them grow up, and have lost me as family. The lady at the bridal store canceled my sister's order for free after I told her about the situation. I put a password on the order that only I know too. I'm having a small courthouse wedding and using all the extra money to a grand honeymoon traveling Europe since my fiancé, and I love traveling and met that way too. Smiley face. Thank you so much for your support, suggestions, and advice. It means so much to me at it too. My maid of honor is related to my sister's ex, and when we all met up for lunch this afternoon, I got to know that this crazy idea of wearing white to another person's wedding has always existed. When I was away for college, apparently there was a time she showed up in white as a +1 date for her ex-boyfriend, my maid of honor's relative. At that time, Skull, I don't even think this is some grudge against me, but some severe attention-seeking problem at it. So a lot of people have been asking about this, so I thought I'll just mention it here. Growing up, I think until I was a teen, we were in a very weird financial situation and money was tough. My sister and I were born back to back, and because of our short age gap and our parents being in their early 20s while entering parenthood, I always felt like I was the reason for our financial position. I was more or less the unexpected, unwanted child of his, while my sister was planned.
Now to the next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my stepsister come to a father-daughter trip I'm having with my dad? And some other family members. My 15F parents divorced when I was 3. My dad quickly remarried after that to my now stepmother. No kids between them, though my stepmom, whom I'll call Dora, has a 16-year-old daughter, Sam, who quickly bonded with my dad because her bio dad has never been in the picture. He loves her and treats her as his own, but we're not close and we don't really like each other, so anyway. She also lives primarily with my dad while I spend Friday night to Monday morning at his house and around 3 to 5 weeks during school break. Now my paternal family is really outdoorsy. We like to do a bunch of things around that Sam is included, and we just ignore each other during them while enjoying our time with others. However, my dad, granddad, aunt and I have a special treasure hunt we do around Christmas that it's really special to me. It's like the only real time I have with my dad because, while Sam is not as bitchy as some I've read here, she really likes to demand both my granddad and dad's attention, and since they consider me tomboyish, they kinda ignore me to cuddle her, which sucks. My dad asked me around my 10th birthday if he could invite Sam, and I said no. I've been saying no ever since, and while he doesn't like it, he respects it. He does other stuff with her without me, and I don't complain. This year, however, Sam is very adamant on going and I just don't want to. My dad is pressuring me to let her come as well as Dora, while my aunt and grandma are insisting he just leaves this thing untouched between us, but my dad doesn't want to hurt his little girl's feelings. NGL, that stung. Oh, I said that if he really wants her there, then he doesn't have to pick me up for Christmas this year and to just leave me be. I called my mom to pick me up and my dad tried to console me and apologize because I was crying, but I just asked him to leave me alone and got to the porch to wait. Sam and Dora insist that I'm an AH and I'm acting selfish, but the way I see it, it's not like that. This is the only real thing I have with my dad. I have to do everything else with him and Sam or else I get a nasty look. I get that dad loves her, I don't care, but why do I have to share the only thing I have?